Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. This summer, I watched the movie A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood many times. How many of you have seen this? About Fred Rogers. I watched this in youth camps, parenting retreats, and so on. As we were watching this recently, one of the watchers had come to me and shared, really what we do here in Meaningful Mornings is like a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Everyone comes in, everyone's welcome, and then we discuss life. And quite often we have a theme. Right now, the theme of the day, the theme of the week is Navaratri. The word Durga, many people have this name, means difficult. Difficult to go against. And there's so much in our life that is Durga. Maybe it's a health condition, physical or mental. Maybe it's a relationship, someone who has wrong expectations. How do you go against that which is difficult? How do you rise above this? I use the word rise, but really it is a deepening. This deepening, in a more appropriate verb sense, is integration. It is to integrate Devi Parvati into Devi Lakshmi. To be energetic and enthusiastic. To integrate Devi Lakshmi into Devi Saraswati. That's what we're doing now. To be energetic, enthusiastic, and empathetic. When our body, mind, and intellect are together, then we become Durga, the Devi Durga with a capital D. We become the one that it is difficult to go against. No difficulty can touch us then. Physical, mental, familial, and so on. So, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood as we celebrate Navaratri. And we're doing this by integrating who we are. In chapter 4, verse 36, Sri Krishna shared, Papa Krit Tamaha. Papa means the one who's engaged in that which makes them distant from themselves. Papa Krit, this is what they do. Tamaha means to the extreme, meaning they live in such a way where they keep moving away from themselves. In that same verse, Sri Krishna says, Jnana Planeva, which means knowledge, knowing who they are, will be the boat to come back, to return to who they are. The key being Jnana. In chapter 9, the same sentiment is being expressed specifically in verses 22 to 31. It's wrong to compare any section of Bhagavad Gita, but these 10 verses are possibly the 10 best verses of Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna is sharing the same anyone who feels that they are vicious, these 10 verses are supporting you that you can change. You will change. You must change. Su, duracharaha, means one who is vicious. If one changes their thoughts, what comes with that? A change in words, a change in actions. One is transformed into sadacharaha. That means their lifestyle is oriented towards sat, nobility, truth, existence. How does it start? By thinking. This is what is unique about humans. The Sanskrit word for human is manava, the one who has a manaha, which means mind, that engages in manyate, thinking. When thinking is directed towards Sri Krishna, towards divinity, that is called bhakti. If one has bhakti, if one is thinking of the divine, one will be not just saved, one will be made then. So for some moments now, everyone relax their bodies, enjoy breathing, quieten the mind, and I want you to feel how much Sri Krishna loves you. Na me bhaktaha pranashyati. You are thinking of Sri Krishna. As your thinking intensifies, it turns into a depending on Sri Krishna. Me bhaktaha. The one who is bhakti towards me, depends on me. Na pranashyati. They are saved. They are made. Stretch, inhale, smile. Verse 32, our final 3 verses. Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepi syu papa yonayaha striyo vaishyastata shudraha tepi yanti param gatim. First quarter. He uses words like Kaunteya, Partha, Dhananjaya. He keeps calling Prince Arjuna. There's no monotony here. He shares those who ashritya, those who treat me as the refuge, those who resort to me. This kind of sentiment comes up quite a bit, and it can be very poetic. So if I can share this in a different way, those who have made me the sadhya. Tell me in the chat, what does sadhya mean? That's right. Goal, destination, purpose. I was recently in Portland and I was eating at a home of a Kerala community. I think it's called a sadhya, correct? There's a feast. I'm saying sadhya. It is one's purpose. It is one's only purpose. I've observed those who have many types of goals in life. I've observed that they tend to be more distracted. They have a professional goal, they have a societal goal, they have a familial goal. So they keep jumping. Their mind is not thinking, there's just thoughts that are coming. But for the one who has a single goal, that is Sri Krishna, they're the ones who in their day unitask, in their life are focused. That's what it means in terms of vyapashritya, to take refuge in. If you're drowning, do you think about eating? You have a single purpose, to breathe. So this notion of, yeah, Shri Krishna, I surrender to you, words and feelings are totally different. Ye api syuhu papayonayaha. Even those who are manifesting the wrong sentiments. I've already shared that papa means that which makes you distant from the destination, distant from Sri Krishna. And it is based on one's thinking. If I'm thinking in a very greedy way as I'm driving my kids to school, that's papa. I think that I'm an individual, that person's an individual, and we compete in my mind. Whereas if I drive my kids to school and the whole time I'm thinking about this is my responsibility, that's not papa. That's punya. I'm becoming more pure. Where is that contained? Not the car, not the steering wheel, not my hands. It is my attitude. Is everyone clear about this? Now we go into the third quarter, which requires a lot of reflection. I'm asking again, are you clear about this? That this is not external, that this is internal. Shri Krishna gives examples of some whose thoughts sometimes make them distant. Who are these examples? A Shudra. In English, a laborer. That's externally. I'm a laborer so often when I go to our ashram. I sweep, I mop, I vacuum. Externally. Internally, what I'm doing is I'm treating this as my responsibility. But what Sri Krishna is highlighting here, it is someone who does not act for the material or immaterial. In other words, they are tamasic. They do not act. Comparatively, the Vaishya. A Vaishya is not a laborer, but rather a organizer. They're able to organize resources. So Shri Krishna gives this as a second example of someone who typically distances themselves from the destination. The Vaishya is one who is rajasic. They do act for that which is material. The first doesn't act, the second does act for that which is material. Typically, they're living for their individuality. What do I get? The third example, striya, which in a straightforward translation means a woman. Here, please don't focus on this externally. Focus on this internally. Shri Krishna is giving an example of one who generally acts for that which is not material, but acts for that which is immaterial, which means for their family. And please remember that Sri Krishna is teaching Prince Arjuna in a specific context, the specific context of the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and so on. What was Bharat or India engaged in mostly at that time? Agriculture. And how was this agricultural family facilitated? Generally, a spouse stayed at home and a spouse stayed outside of the home. That context is very different now, yes? And that's why it's important to not focus on the context, but to focus on the content. And all of this can only be understood if you connect back to the previous verse. This is why I keep warning everyone, do not study Bhagavad Gita without a guide. You will just get confused. Shri Krishna is comparing all of this to a dharmatma. That was the previous verse. The Shudra is tamasic, the Vaishya is rajasic, the Striya is rajasic sattvic, dharmatma is sattvic. The one who acts for that which is immaterial, but it's not at a family level. Rather, they're doing this for the community, for society, for humanity. That immaterialism is punya. They're doing what they're doing to be closer to the destination. More balance, more focus, more reflectiveness. They're acting because this is the purpose of their life. Final quarter. Tepi, te api, even they, param gatim, they, final destination, yanti, repair. I like this word a lot. They repair, which means whatever is making them feel distant from the divine, they repair that. They dismantle that so they feel divine. They even transcend sattva, which is living for humanity. They only live for divinity. From inspiration to application. The recent application was to reflect on the other way of life doesn't work. Living not for divinity doesn't work. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Rishi Dattatreya was sharing with Raja Yadu that one should be disgusted at their attachment. Only when you have a disgust for attachment. Attachment is, what do I get? Only then does one start to live the divine life. Your application for this morning, which of the 10 verses from 22 to 31 has been most powerful for you? When you read this, when you heard this, you just felt, whoa. And you just closed your eyes and you really felt that in your personality. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.